All right. Hi. Today we have Newman Abuissa, who is running for Iowa City Council and an at-large seat. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your campaign, we will go ahead.
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Newman Abuissa. I'm running for the Iowa City Council. I am an immigrant from Syria. I came to this country about 40 years ago, and I went to school here in the States and got my bachelor degree, master's degree in engineering, civil engineering, and I worked for the Iowa DOT for 35 years. Most of those years are in Eastern Iowa, and I got to deal with many municipalities in Eastern Iowa on the east side of the state. So I worked with them about developments, about highway systems, about connectivity, about safety, and those prepared me, I think, to interact with many government organizations in cities of Eastern Iowa. And that gave me perspective about different models and different approach to city government. So also, I am involved with the human rights activism in its country. I am a member of I chaired the Iowa City Human Rights Commission for 1 year, and also I've been a member of the University of Iowa Center for Human Rights for many years, and I've seen some of the challenges ahead of us in that front. I'm also concerned about our model for development. I think we have a model which need to be more sustainable, more environmental friendly, and those are the big issues for me. So I think affordability is really the big thing in Iowa City at this day. That housing prices went up 30% in the last 4 years alone, and that's the price. But also the rent have increased significantly as well, and the rent in Iowa City and the price of a house in Iowa City are one of the highest in the state of Iowa. And there's, I guess, some reasons for that, and I'll be discussing some of those reasons as part of your questions here as well.
Great. Thank you so much. So starting with the first one, you've touched on this a little bit, but what experiences do you bring to the table for this position?
Yes, as a transportation engineer, I worked with for example, City of Cedar Rapids, City of Hiawatha, and Marion, and they have different models governing the city. So I've seen different perspectives how to govern the city. I think the city manager in our community here have a strong presence and strong influence. And I think the city council should be taking a more leadership role and guide the city in the direction they want to grow. And I feel that the city of Iowa City have lost many businesses while I'm here in Iowa City. And I think Iowa City should have the Iowa City people should have the chance to spend their money in Iowa City, and we have many Iowa Citians who who work in Iowa City and live outside Iowa City. Imagine we have 12,000 residents. If we can attract those residents to live in Iowa City instead of parking their car in Iowa City during their work hours, and having them part of our community where they can have a connected community with more livable, connected community, and have a little more density in a few locations, and have the process for approvals a little streamlined and more easier.
Great. Moving on, if elected, what are your immediate policy priorities?
We have three challenges, as I mentioned earlier. I guess the affordability issue is the biggest one. We need to have, for example, the rentals, and we have lots of corporations take control of many rental properties in Iowa City, and I know that from personal experience that many corporations don't refund the deposit to the tenants, and that's a huge deal because that's about 10% of the annual rent for each unit. And my son was not happy with where his landlord did not return any of the money, so he took them to court and he got his money back. But that took him about 6 months. And the immediate things I'll do that I'll have the city attorney office support those students who wants to collect their deposit and have the city help the students with the legal process to take the landlord to court and get what they deserve in the part of their deposits. Also the the available units are available for higher scale, I think, students, and I think we also need to provide alternatives for poorer people in Iowa City. And those units don't have to be as fancy as we have seen on those high rises, but they can be close to Iowa City for example, Gilbert Street or Iowa City Center, and also can be higher density where the people can be walkable distance or bikeable distance to the University of Iowa and the hospital as well.
Sounds good. Hold on. Right. And then moving on, what steps will you take to support and engage with the unionized workforces that you oversee?
Okay. I think engagement is very important part of our life. I have seen many young people disengaged from our political environment. Our politics have been divorced of realistic life, and they are becoming more elitist in general. I believe that the union provide that link between the mass at large and the politicians, where they can give more power to the people and have their needs addressed not as a single person but as a collective group, which makes it more visible to the decision makers. And as a city council person, I will be connecting with the workers and representing the workers and their needs at the council table, not the money and the capital represented at those tables. I've dealt with many developers, and they are usually very well versed about the rules and regulations. They come prepared with PowerPoint presentations, and then the people who are impacted by those decisions, they are not present at the table. So it's very important that we work with the union to have a collective opinion or demands from the workers through their union, and also represent those demands at the table for through the approval processes.
Right, thank you. And then kind of what is your plan to address intrusions from the state and Trump administration?
Yeah, that is a challenging issue because there are some legal obstacles with that. I've seen the ICE do the abduction of one of our community members. They chose the downtown. They chose it in the middle of the day. So to me, they are really escalating the confrontation. And I think the city of Iowa City is unique in the state of Iowa, being one of the more liberal, more blue dot in the state of Iowa. And I think it's very important that we are proud of our politics, are proud of our position, and also defend our people in a positive, active way, not only by talking, but also organizing to let the decision makers that their policies are not popular with the many people in the state of Iowa, not only Iowa City, but also they are some of their policies are not accepted by a large margin in the population. And I think we need to collect all the input from those groups who are against the ICE raid, for example. And I've been to a protest, and I have talked to the protesters at the ICE office in Cedar Rapids multiple times. And it's really have to have a culture of resistance to those policies. And I mean, the minimum is to support each other in this process emotionally, but also we can do tangible steps which can improve our position. For example, when I was at the ICE office, the ICE pushed us on the street. As a transportation engineer, I know that the city owns a right of way about 18 foot beyond the curb. And then I mentioned that to the group, and then the group researched it further, and they moved the fence 18 foot behind, so allow us to be closer to the ICE officers. That's just one of the examples that we can do a little steps, tangible steps on the ground to make our presence more known and assert ourselves.
Right. The sixth question, what is the ideal role of police in our community? What should our criminal justice system look like?
So first of all, I mean, we have a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was established 5 years ago to look into the justice system in our Iowa City. When I was talking to the sheriff a couple of weeks ago at the farmers market, I asked him how many people of color are in the jail. He said, "Well, we don't. I don't know the exact numbers." But then through the conversations, I learned that he said himself that more than 50% of the people in the jail are black or brown, and that is a huge. That does not represent our community, and I think we have lots of challenges. We have drug issues, we have mental health issues, which need to be addressed outside the police system. I don't think a policeman is equipped to deal with all those challenges, for example. And I think it's important that we have professionals dealing with those. I think police should be there only to protect the lives and the property of the residents of Iowa City, and not have a uh, like the MRAP vehicles or stuff. I mean, we don't have mines, we don't have terrorists in our city. We just have people who are normal. Might be upset, and then a policeman with a baton might be sufficient to resolve a conflict between a couple of people or few people downtown, for example. So there will be a need for police, but then the level of militarism or the level of weapons should be at a minimum. I mean, we should not escalate anything more than it has to. I mean, the police station is usually a minute away. I mean, short distance, and the enforcement can be called if there is a need for enforcement. But the vast majority of the police needs are usually are for drug issues and for mental health issues, and those should not be handled with any kind of force.
Good. And kind of connecting to the fifth question, how will you use your office to protect immigrants and international students against ICE harassment?
Yeah, I'm an international student, was international student. I'm an immigrant myself. I've lived in this community. I also, during the civil war in Syria, two of my sisters came here, and one of my brother also is here in Iowa City, and they came about 10 years ago. And I've lived that same immigrant experience over and over just by helping them and getting them established in this community. So it's important that we make this community more welcoming, and there are many tools and steps which the city can take to make the city more welcoming to the immigrants. And I'm really, surprised and disgusted by the president when he talks about immigrants in a negative way all the time. The vast majority of immigrants, like the vast majority of Americans, to me, they are the same. There's no difference, and they have challenges and opportunities, and they are as hardworking as anybody else, and they should be treated as equals. And I'll use my table to represent the immigrant experiences, which I have lived for 40 years in this country, and that will be presented at the table. And I will not be shy. I will be presenting my experiences boldly and respectfully.
Right. And then what steps will you take to protect the civil rights of racial and ethnic minorities, LGBTQ plus individuals, disabled people, and other marginalized groups?
Yeah, I mean, this is really the responsibility of the society at large, but then it takes a village to help each other. I mean, my first step will be to connect with those communities and listen about their concerns firsthand, and listen to them, and then try to. There is always passion. I mean, I've listened to a group with the ADA yesterday, and they are passionate about their challenges, and they want to have somebody to listen to them and try to solve their challenges. So that is a common thing. That my motto is to listen and empower, and I'll be listening to those groups and to learn about their challenges firsthand, and let them know that they have an open door, that any of those challenges will be listened to and acted upon, and they will be the experts who will come and testify on those challenges. So I am trying to build a community which can be tolerant community, connected community, and have all the groups mentioned represented on the table, and have that open door policy between them, and defending their rights, just like defending anybody's rights as human rights.
Great. What would you say distinguishes you from others in this race?
So I did mention that I'm an immigrant. I've lived the American experience for 40 years here. I'm very thankful for this community to include immigrants and to be welcoming to immigrants and allow immigrants like myself to even run for city council. I mean, that is a huge positive about the American experience. And the American experience to me is a experience of people who wants to coexist, and people who respect each other and have different backgrounds. And that is, I mean, drive us closer to our basic humanity. Because if we are coming from different backgrounds and we have to share the same space, we have to share similar values, and that kind of bring us together to respect each other values and that I mean, that kind of brings me in as an immigrant. But also I have had a long experience with the Department of Transportation, working with developers and highway safety and accessibility issues. So I understand also the transportation is a big part of our life. And for example, free buses is almost a must in our community, and we have to have a little more expanded services on Sundays and evening, and as our community gets larger. So I will use my transportation experience, my immigrant experience, to put it to the benefit of the city of Iowa City.
Great. And is there anything else that you want to discuss further, or something else that we didn't get to in the questions that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I did touch briefly on the truth and reconciliation. That is an important issue for the human right in Iowa City, because that Truth and Reconciliation Commission was established by the City Council about 5 years ago, and I just learned that they've issued the report on that commission after spending lots of money on that commission. I think that there was some conflicts within the commission, so I think that the commission was not able to reach the truth, because to me the truth is that we agree on the truth. There's no reason for people to disagree if they are talking about the same thing. But if they are not talking about the same thing, they need to get down to the same thing. And apparently the city council, the current city council, was not able to guide the commission to get to the truth and have after that reconciliation. So we'll see what the report says, but I am disappointed with the current city council that they were not able to resolve those conflicts on the commission, and some of the commissioners have left the commission out of frustration and disagreements about participating on that commission.
What's the makeup of the commission?
The makeup of the commission, I guess there was it was mostly about marginalized people. And there was, my understanding, there was some different marginalized peoples having different perspectives about the violations for their own groups, and they couldn't agree on the what is the core problem. For I mentioned earlier is that 50% of the people in the jail are Black and brown. So I see injustices happening to most marginalized communities, and then we need to get to the bottom. Why are those things happening? And what are the possible solution for that? And some of these groups were in conflict with each other because of, I don't know. First, I was not there at the commission, but I've talked to the commission members, and they've told me they were very frustrated and they quit the commission. Yeah.
And if there isn't anything else, last but certainly not least question is, where can we reach you if we are interested in getting involved in your campaign or learning more?
Yeah, please reach out to me at Newman for iowacity.com, and my phone number is 319-331-2949. Feel free to text me or call me. Again, my phone number is 319-331-2949.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Are there any questions?
That's okay. Talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Yeah, please vote on November 4th or before.
Absolutely. Okay.